What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Fed by Fire. So today I wanted to make a different kind of video because lately on this channel I've been covering a lot of stories from my past, and most of those stories, come from some of the darkest times in my life. They're stories that I'm not proud of, but they're part of who I am, and I'll never run from them because I think it's important to be honest about where you've been if you want people to believe where you're going. Today, though, I don't want to focus on the past. I want to talk about where I am today, because sometimes I get so caught up trying to get to the next goal that I forget to appreciate how far that I've already come. The truth is, I wouldn't be sitting here making these videos if it wasn't for the people that God placed in my life. I wouldn't be here without my wife, my kids, my family, my friends, and the people who believed in me when I didn't believe in myself. As corny as that might sound, even my 9 to 5 has given me something I never thought I'd have. It's given me a purpose, even though I'm quiet, I mind my business. It's given me an opportunity to provide, for my family, to show up for my kids every day, and to build something the right way. Do I get a little overwhelmed? Absolutely. But I still have days where, work is stressful, but I give it my all. I have days where parenting is hard and where I question whether I'm doing enough. But whenever I start feeling like that, I just got to remind myself, and to look behind me before I look ahead, because when I do that, I realize just how much that my life has changed. Today, we went and looked at the house that we're about to move into, and honestly, I can't believe it. It's bigger than anywhere I've ever lived before, and we'll finally have some land and a place that we're going to be able to raise our family for years to come. And if you told me a few years ago that this would be my life, I never would have believed you. Because, back then I couldn't picture a future at all. I thought, I was going to die in addiction or spend the rest of my life in prison, and that's just the reality of where my mind was. Another huge blessing is I just finished all 50 hours of my community service, and now I'm about to be released from that probation for one of my old distribution charges in another county, and I'm incredibly thankful for the judge who decided to give me another chance that day, because I truly don't know where I'd be if that day had gone differently. Doing my community service at the rescue mission here in Roanoke was something that really opened my eyes. Anybody that knows my city and knows the city knows this is where a lot of the homeless people end up, and a lot of people who are struggling with addiction end up there too, and being there reminded me how easily that still could have been me. It reminded me that my problems aren't nearly as big as I sometimes think they are, and it reminded me how much I have to be thankful for, because I honestly didn't think I was going to walk out of the courtroom with another opportunity to fix my life, but God had a different plan. On top of that, I got invited onto someone else's podcast for the first time, and that was a huge milestone. And when that interview comes out, we're definitely going to react to it together here on the channel. I'm going to interview him as well, and I'm excited for you guys to see it. It's just another reminder that if you keep putting one foot in front of the other and stay consistent, opportunities start showing up that you never expected. If you're watching this today and you're struggling with addiction, I just want you to know it can get better. I know it feels like, what it feels like to believe that using is all there is, and I lived that life for so long. But recovery doesn't look the same for everybody. For some people it's treatment, for some people it's meetings, for some people it's counseling, and for someone else maybe the first step might be simply getting off the street supply and getting into a methadone clinic. Whatever your path looks like, progress is progress. I'm not here to judge anybody who's honestly trying to change. I'm rooting for you. I just, don't want to see another family lose a son, or a daughter, because, you know, we've lost enough people already. And that's the whole reason I started Fed by Fire. I wanted to give a voice to people whose stories deserve to be heard. And if one video helps one person choose recovery or gives somebody hope that their life can change, then every hour I've spent making videos has been worth it. Right now, my biggest videos have around 300 views, and some people might think that's not much, but I appreciate every single one of those views, because every person who watches is another chance to reach somebody who needs to hear this message. I'm not worried about getting famous overnight or no bullshit like that. I'm just gonna keep climbing the mountain one step at a time, keep working my job, keep taking care of my family, and keep making videos, because that's what I'm passionate about. One thing addiction convinces you is that you're not worthy of love, you know, that you've gone too far, that your story's already over, but that's a lie. You're worthy of love. You have a future, and there are a lot of people praying for you that you don't even realize. You know, I truly believed I myself was going to become a statistic, you know, where people expected me not to make it. But by the grace of God, I'm still here, and that's something I'll never take for granted. I just wanted to make this video because I don't always want this channel to be about darkness. I also want it to be about hope, growth, family, redemption, and what life can look like when you refuse to give up. I couldn't have done this without my amazing wife, without my kids, without my family, and without my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Thank you to every single one of you guys that has subscribed, watched a video, or left a comment, or supported me in any way, because you're helping build something that I truly believe can make a difference. Fed by Fire is just getting started, and we're going to keep telling real stories about recovery, about prison, about crime, about second chances, about redemption. And if you know, have a story that deserves to be told, you know, whether it's about any of that stuff, trauma that you've overcome, reach out to me, because I would love to share it. I appreciate every one of you. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.